Well, good day, everybody. I'm here in my creepy basement in Pittsburgh. I'm dressed kind of like something out of a, I don't know, Latino gangbanger movie. Because it's cold and you can hear my dryer going, and it's a day of working at home on our RV stuff. So I'm painting some cabinets, and then I'm gonna probably head up north to finish some more painting. So bear with me, I'm multitasking, as is my life. I'm not the kind of person to put together like a bunch of schwank videos with super great intros and stuff, and it's kind of my style because, as you guys know, I'm pretty busy and we have a lot of businesses that we run, and I've always tried to incorporate health and fitness into my everyday life, just as a normal human being. And, you know, great nutrition and veganism and environmentalism and all that stuff, while still being a human that's employed, not trying to be a superstar or anything like that. I'm just here living this normal life that I quite enjoy. And you might have noticed that I haven't been posting a lot of videos lately. And that's been in part because for the last couple of months we've been traveling a lot. We've been in the Dominican Republic and Mexico and then Costa Rica, a return trip there. And if you know me, you know that I love traveling, and that's sort of my number one passion, is traveling around the world, eating really good food, meeting cool people, and being motivated by other people's lives, learning, understanding myself a little bit better, understanding the world we live in a little bit better, and just having a well-rounded human experience. And I can't stagnate. I don't like to sit around. And so I cheap out on a lot of things. I don't drive a big fancy car, and I have, and I don't own a big fancy house anymore, and I've done that. And I just started to realize along the way that that lifestyle wasn't for me. Those things didn't speak to who I am. The big diamond rings and blah, 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 party invites. Just weren't me. It didn't feed my soul. And I'm not religious. I don't believe in anything, but I do believe that I have more to me than just some things firing up in my brain. Scientists might disagree wholeheartedly with me on that. But anyways, I wanted to, you know, always make my experience on the planet more deep, meaningful. I'd like to become a better person over time, and so travel has always been sort of my number one way of doing that. And so the evolution of my life has sort of been, you know, I lived in Vancouver, I traveled a lot while I was there, lived there most of my life, and then decided, hey, I'm going to take a chance on improving my life even more, and I'm going to move to Alberta to be with somebody who I'd been with on and off for a long time. He's a good friend and somebody I thought I'd want to spend more time with. And so I moved there, lived in the Rockies, tried out living in really cold temperatures and skiing more often and hiking a lot, and I really fell in love with mountaineering there. We lived in the woods in a beautiful house, and I got to spend a lot of time just working on myself, and really got into competitive bodybuilding then because I had the time and the routine. And then change came along again. It was getting stagnant, and I realized the culture that I was living in, I didn't like. And I knew that I wouldn't be there forever, but I wanted to give it a chance, and we had businesses there, and my husband has a kid there, and that's a long story, but we don't see her anymore. And so, you know, there were a lot of reasons why we stayed, but it was always my dream. And back in 2006, when I had first gone to Costa Rica, I decided then that I wanted to live somewhere tropical for sure, and I really liked Central America. And so over the last few years, Jeff and I have been going to like Nicaragua, Panama, Costa Rica, some places in Mexico, to try to find somewhere that maybe we might want to live or do business. And so, you know, and we also get a chance to travel. We also moved to Pittsburgh, made that change, and that was to run our business and to maybe escape some of the economic downturn in Alberta, and also to escape sort of the negative lifestyle there. having to deal with Jeff's ex for so many years, just a very negative and not very nice person, really was damaging to us as humans. And so we really just wanted to be away from that toxic environment, and we wanted a fresh start and something that would be ours. And so, you know, we came to Pittsburgh, and we loved Pittsburgh. We'd been coming here for a couple of years, and decided, well, this place, you know, has a lot going for it. We like the weather, we like the people, we like the culture, we like the fact that it's an old city. You know, we like a lot about it. And guess what? It happens to have some oil and gas, and isn't that cool? Let's fire up a U.S. office. And so we did that, rented out our house up north, and it was a long struggle, and I blog about it and stuff. So if you want to know more, you can always ask, but I'm just going through to catch you guys up because I haven't posted in a while. So, you know, we moved down here, and we've been making the best of it, and we've started up our other office down here, and just kind of in the nick of time, because the Canadian oil and gas industry has taken a turn, and that it's just not coming out of this nosedive that it's been in. And we've been really lucky to have made some great choices. While we were down here, things weren't super busy here. We noticed that we were still doing a lot of travel over in Europe, India, doing all these things, and we realized that we'd been doing most of our work from the road, and we'd spent a lot of money on, you know, proper offices, partially because that's what immigration would want to qualify us for the visas that we have here and stuff. And we just thought, you know, we feel so locked down. I'm kind of speaking for Jeff here, but I think it's what he believes as well. Kind of feel so locked down. We love traveling. We want to be able to work remotely. In 2019, we should be able to do these things. And so after a trip in the spring to kind of take care of my grandmother's affairs, she passed away in the early 2018 in New Mexico, and she kind of, you know, nobody really knew. And because I was already in the US, I went down to take care of her affairs, and she was living in an RV park in Deming, New Mexico, just outside Las Cruces. And so Jeff and I spent like 5 days and cleaning out her stuff and just going through things to try to tie up loose ends, sign for her body, things like that. And we met some really interesting people that were living in this RV park, older than us, you know, retired, and some younger people actually from Washington State, and they were maybe in their mid-50s, and they said, you know, more young people need to do this. And we looked around and we were like, no, how does a person do this? We love traveling, but look at the way they're living. And, you know, to be fair, this is a very sort of low-cost gravel parking lot in Deming, New Mexico. It's not ideal. I don't know why my granny was there. She's very cheap. So, but anyways, that's another story. So we kind of just left New Mexico and went, that was an interesting experience. Kind of blew our minds. And the more we talked about sort of what we saw there, and the more we talked about freedom, and the more we talked about what we wanted for our life, you know, we realized that more and more and more money is starting to mean less and less and less to us. And adventure and experience and being able to spend time with each other and learning, freedom, all those things have taken the front seat finally. And so, long story short, we decided, look, we don't need to be in any one place necessarily right now to run our businesses. And we can do a lot of stuff from the road. And why don't we check into this RV idea? So, long story short, we did a lot of research because that's how we are. We don't just kind of jump headfirst into things. And we decided, hey, you know what? I think we should look at maybe getting an RV and taking off. We secured another 5-year visa down here in the US, and we haven't traveled all the states, most of them, but not all. We certainly haven't lived in all of them. And there's a lot of business for us to develop in other states. And by sitting here in Pittsburgh, we're not doing ourselves any favors. And you know, the cost of traveling to Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado, all these places regularly to develop new business, it's kind of insane when you're talking about flights, car rentals, hotels, things like that, and dog sitters, especially if Jeff and I are both gone on a business trip together. And so we just said, hey, you know what? We've already liquidated once by moving to Pittsburgh. We could liquidate again and move into an RV. So fast forward, we spent a couple of months researching. We started looking at RVs and we decided on a Class A RV that we liked. We started up Instagram, website, well, not a website yet, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for Williams' Wander, and started sharing our experience so far with what our plans are. And so basically it's the middle of January today, and we have about 8 weeks to finish renovating the RV that we purchased and liquidate everything that we have so that we can hit the road. And this is all really super exciting. So what we had to do was basically not liquidate, take all of our business and put it online, anything we were doing separately outside of our engineering company. So we, Jeff does photography, he sort of slowed down on that. And my training in person, I shut down and started liquidating my studio equipment and took everything online. And then in the meantime, we took a small trip to Costa Rica for a couple of weeks to just have a look-see at another Central American place, and it was a return trip for me. And while we were there, Jeff fell in love with it. And, you know, in the middle of us doing this move into the RV, now he's really gung-ho on being down in Costa Rica, which is funny because when we first got back together in 2012, I had a bunch of money in the bank and was looking at purchasing a hotel down there, a small hotel. Anyways, long story short, we are going on the road. We are going to spend 3 years in the US still developing our business, making money, saving money, and working, as well as traveling. But what that means is that our secondary businesses, like for me, this coaching business is going to change. And so what I wanted to sort of announce with this long-winded video is that my coaching style is going to change. It's all going to remain online, but my focus is going to be bringing adventure and freedom and fitness and nutrition to people who are on the road. And I don't see this as having been addressed by anyone as yet, and so I think it's really important to bring some normalcy and some health and wellness to the nomadic world that we live in. So if you guys are looking for coaching, I'm still doing everything online, but my focus is going to change and I'm evolving. I don't think I'll be competing for the next few years because we're just going to be too busy, and then our goal is to sell everything and move to Central America when our visas run out here in the US. Unless something changes, but ultimately we just want to be in Central America. So that's my new focus. The video stream will be changing here. I won't be making a lot of posts or comments or videos or anything on competing much. It's just not on my radar right now. What is staying in great shape, eating really well while being super busy, entrepreneurs who travel a lot. So if that's you and that sounds really cool to you, or if you're just a really busy person, or if you just like watching me run around and go crazy on life, I invite you to keep following me here on YouTube and check out Williams' Wander on Instagram. And yeah, that's the plan. So things are changing for Food Medicine Life. So watch out for those changes. And if you were a contest prep client or interested in doing coaching with me, I still do that, but it's not going to be my main focus. So I hope you all are really well this early on into 2019, and I'm really excited about the next few years, and I wanted to share this with you guys. I haven't made a post in a while, but I'm literally up to my eyeballs in paint. So anyway, much love to all of you. I hope you're fighting a good fight and getting everything you want out of your life on a daily basis, because you only live once and nothing really matters but your awesome experience and happiness. Take care, guys.